Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the main roster on Twitch Sports, live on The Jez Show. Welcome in. My name is Jez. I'm joined by Dan, our resident fiend. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
That means more to certain people than others, but Dan just, not going to say serenaded, but I have no other word right now. Serenaded me with the theme tuned entrance for the Fiend held up to his microphone on his phone while we were in pre-production. So
that's the best serenade ever. The Fiend's entrance music.
Yeah. So, but I'm not going to let him in, but hopefully you will let us all in to your eyes and ear holes for this episode of the main roster. We've got 2 episodes of WWE TV to discuss. Opinions coming shortly on them, whether they were good or bad.
Yes.
But before we get started, I wanted to discuss with you quickly. Have you heard about this future endeavours bin bag debacle?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for those that haven't, Mickie James on her Instagram posted a picture that was captioned, "Thanks for my care package, WWE," or Vince McMahon. I think she just tagged directly. And it was all of her stuff from, like, you know, her locker or whatever that they had sent her in a bin bag, which then was shoved in a box and then sent on to her. And from there, the ish hit the fan because people were obviously outraged by the whole idea that people were being sent their stuff in bin bags and that they were being treated that badly after being fired as well, just to make it worse.
Rightly so.
And so Triple H took to social media and said...
And Stephanie McMahon.
And Stephanie McMahon, yeah. But Triple H said this was an isolated incident and the person responsible for sending the package has been terminated. At which point, a litany of other former WWE talent piped in and said, "Oh, I remember getting one of those. They still do that, do they?" And the most kind of damning of those was Gail Kim.
Oh, yeah.
Who hasn't been in WWE since 2006, maybe even 2005.
Very long time ago.
So at least 15 years.
Yeah.
It's been happening, and Mickie James was apparently the first to pipe up and say something. She didn't pipe up and say something the first time she was released.
No. Yeah, perhaps she's just thrown a set.
yeah, possibly. It's funny actually because this week in my Facebook memories, one of my posts was discussing the release of Mickie James and Shelton Benjamin in 2008.
Wow.
So Mickie James obviously met the same fate, and I'm not sure Shelton Benjamin is too far behind her.
No, I wouldn't say he's too far behind.
He's probably, if he makes it to next year's post WrestleMania cull, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, bin bag.
Bin bag. Lovely.
So I thought that was a nice way to start the show.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Just how they cared, but they did resolve the issue and fired the guy straight away. So
apparently,
yeah.
It lost all credibility when Tripp said it was an isolated incident, and then other people piped up and said,
everyone piped up.
I remember my 2010 care package of the same style. It was like, not so isolated then.
Yeah, not quite isolated, is it, Trips, hey?
And by virtue of starting with a bin bag, things can only get better, right? In terms of the quality of
Well, we
the
hope
programming
so.
that we watched. So,
Yeah.
shall we crack into SmackDown? You've got a
Dive
whopper
on.
of a paragraph to kick us off.
Yeah. SmackDown got underway with the Swiss Superman Cesaro already in the ring, but barely before he could be introduced, the music of Seth Rollins hit and he came to interrupt. Rollins spoke about how Cesaro had finally begun to reach his potential by being in the ring with him at WrestleMania, but that if it weren't for the rain delay throwing him off his game, Cesaro would never have fluked a victory against him. Uso came out and said his piece, and then he and Rollins paired up to surround the ring and attack Cesaro. Before that could happen, Daniel Bryan came out to make the save. Bryan grabbed a mic and advocated for Cesaro, saying that he's long overdue a shot at the Universal Championship. Bryan then suggested that if Reigns was going to come out next to make it 3-on-2, then he should get to it. Roman Reigns did come out to the ramp, but he used the opportunity to mock Bryan for being bottom of the stack pin at WrestleMania, and that the pair of them were main event lovers.
Losers, that should be.
Losers.
Thanks, autocorrect.
I was thinking that. Main event lovers. After a commercial break, Bryan, Cesaro, Rollins, and Uso were brawling ahead of a tag team match that had been booked. When the match finally began, we were treated to an excellent tag team match until Seth Rollins walks out on his partner, allowing Daniel Bryan to secure victory for his team with the running knee. After the match, Cesaro swung Uso while Daniel Bryan called out Roman Reigns again, but the head of the table did not come out because, in Bryan's words, he's afraid of Cesaro. Lovely.
Yes. Very good start to SmackDown, I feel. Definitely been known for its hot starts, middles, and hot endings as well. So, like, the beginning and end of SmackDown is usually stellar, with a bit of, stuff in the middle. But this was a good chunk of the beginning of the show. I think this was like the first 45 minutes of the show.
Yeah, it was a big beginning.
So, that wasn't everything that we saw from these guys either. They're back in the main event slot, as it were, to close the show. I thought I'd save that rather than give you another, 10 lines of text to read on top.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't know whether you actually got the. Yep, you get those words. It's just that you get a bit of a break first.
Thank you.
Because of the way that the ordering comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still don't like Seth Rollins' new music. I've decided I don't like it.
I don't mind it.
It's just a bit generic and meh.
I get where you're coming from, but I kind of like it, the fact that it's kind of a mashup of other themes. So I like the Burn It Down bit. We got the Burn It Down bit again. I like that bit.
I just would have rathered he had something completely original, personally, rather than a mashup. I don't like that it shouts "Burn It Down" at the beginning and then it plays something different. I don't know. Maybe I'll get used to it.
It might grow on you.
It might. Yeah, like
Seth
Rollins' matted beard, it might grow on me. And it looks like, we were wondering if they were putting the Cesaro thing on hold. But I don't think they are.
No, I don't think they are.
I think we're going to very quickly get to our first Cesaro versus Roman Reigns match. More on that later. We've got another contest to get through first, but Seth Rollins is probably going to move on to do something else. He was definitely a kind of a hanger-on in that situation. Hello, Tamsin. Welcome over. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Tamsin.
Yes, more on that in the main event. We'll shelve that for now and move on to the next segment of SmackDown. And the Intercontinental Championship was on the line. next as Apollo Crews defended against Kevin Owens. With the match becoming competitive, Sami Zayn's music hit and the conspiracy theorist came out to distract Owens at commentary. It was not Zayn that ultimately cost Owens the championship though, as Commander Aziz got up on the apron, Crews rolled up Owens for a 3 count. After the match, Aziz hit Owens with the Nigerian nail, and Zayn took to the ring to dance over his fallen countryman. Backstage, Big E jumped Apollo Crews and left him laying as he was dragged off by security.
Yeah.
You are double streaming, of course, yeah. If you tried to put us and Always Be Chatting, who's on the other channel, as it were,
oh yeah,
at the moment in Greece, it probably would have shouted at her. But you know, the benefit of British internet is that
blighty.
you can do both. Hey, we've got to be good for something.
Yeah.
There are many things that Greece have above us, but apparently internet is not it.
Oh yes, there's a lot of things. A lot of countries have got better than us.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
That's a whole other podcast series. We could probably get a good 1,000 episodes out of that topic. But the Intercontinental Championship match. What did you think of it?
Yes, it was all right. Had Kevin Owens doing what he does. Had Apollo Crews doing what he does. Interference from whatever his name is, Aziz.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn being there is just always a bit of a laugh. I have to say, Sami Zayn's dance at the end was just hilarious.
That dance has become a thing because
made a shirt.
His T-shirt has been doing the rounds this week. Seth Rollins posted a selfie of himself wearing the T-shirt at the beginning of before they did SmackDown. Him wearing that T-shirt.
Becky Lynch as well.
Yeah. So maybe I need to get one.
Yeah, I think you should get one.
Yeah, it's white though is the problem.
Do you not like white?
I quite like wearing white, but it doesn't really suit me. I like the idea of wearing white, but I look at myself and I'm like, it's just I just don't look right in it. Definitely a dark. It's not even dark colours. Colours are fine, and black is fine. White just doesn't work for some reason. Good evening, Mamaras. Welcome in. Thank you for your presence. To come into more wrestling drama. There is definitely drama. Yo-Yo Club Mad, quick hello before dinner and chill night. Nice. Bit of chill. Nice. We all like a bit of chill. Yeah, I think the best part of this whole Intercontinental situation was the interaction between Big E and Kevin Owens before the match even took place. Yeah,
that was really good. It's really gunning. I'm really rooting for you, but I don't want you to do it at the same time. No, it's really funny.
Yeah, some historic animosity reborn through the medium of laughter and mockery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that would be a good rivalry to have again now that Big E is out on his own as a singles competitor.
Yeah,
but it would require one of them to turn heel. So I don't know who would be better suited to doing that. I think probably Big E down the line. Yeah. I think there's only so long that Big E can be a babyface on his own before he needs to turn heel. So maybe that comes then. And what I didn't put in the notes is that they have now booked Big E and Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental title this Friday on SmackDown.
Oh, have they?
They have indeed, yes.
Thought you were going to say at WrestleMania Backlash.
No.
What a surprise.
No, they've actually booked a pretty good SmackDown this week. Probably because it's such a big gap between WrestleMania and Backlash. There's a 6-week gap. It's 3 weeks away now, and we're 2 weeks removed from WrestleMania, so massive 5-week gap. Yeah. So they had to do some kind of big championship matches in the interim. I don't know. I mean, maybe we should for the lols rather than for the belt. We should predict what we think will happen. I'm going to say Apollo Crews retains.
I'm going to say Apollo Crews as well, though.
Again, it's for the lols. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I think they're done with Big E as Intercontinental Champion. I think they're going to push Big E into a big rivalry with a kind of true main eventer to get him ready for that eventual world title shot.
Yeah.
Maybe Rollins. That could work.
Maybe Rollins, yeah. That'd be good. That'd be a good rivalry to go through.
I'd enjoy that, yeah.
Let's see.
I shall leave a lurk as I'm on bedtime duties tonight. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for coming. Okay. Some triumphant news next.
Some SmackDown. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Reggie returned. I know. Should we just leave it at that and just forget the rest of the thing?
It doesn't get better than that.
No. And then Nia Jax went one-on-one with Tamina. After Reginald got onto the apron to distract Tamina, Shayna Baszler was kicked in the back and took it out on Reggie. Poor Reggie. I didn't like this and distracted. She was hit by a super kick and pinned, giving Tamina an impressive victory.
Yes, indeed. Impressive because she won a match rather than it being a spectacular, interesting match.
Yeah.
Just to make that completely clear.
Just to make that deadly clear, yes.
But Reggie's back. Yeah. Whoop whoop. I thought they'd just abandoned the whole Reggie thing.
Oh, bringing Reggie back.
Yeah.
Bring Reggie back.
And I didn't realise how short Reggie was.
He is very short.
He is, yeah. I mean, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are both quite tall, so when he was short compared to them, I was like, okay, well, they're just freakishly tall women, so that's
tall
fine.
Anyway.
But then when Angel Garza popped in, I'm like, oh, Angel Garza's my height, so that makes Reggie a good 3/4 of a foot shorter than him. So he's like 5'4".
Yeah.
Something like that.
I wonder if they're going into a rivalry with Reggie and Angel Garza.
Maybe. I mean, that would be better than anything else that they've done with him, rivalry-wise. It's a rivalry with someone of his own gender, then, at least.
Oh.
You'd assume Reggie joined the company as a wrestler and that he has aspirations of wrestling.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, I looked it up. He's 5'8".
Oh, okay.
Which, when you're as tall as me, that's short.
Yeah. Well, I'm 6 foot as well, so.
Yeah.
So he is small.
He is small. Yeah. Real name is Reggie.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Reggie Bennett.
Reggie Bennett.
Oh, wait. No, that's the wrong guy.
That's the wrong guy.
That's the wrong guy.
Oh, get the right guy, man.
Rubbish. Okay, let's have a look in here. Reginald on the Online World of Wrestling. Come on, Online World of Wrestling, don't let us down. Oh no, that's fine. Title history. Insert. We're off to a good start.
It's a good start.
There's no information about him at all.
Oh. That's rubbish.
It is, isn't it? Is that him? I think this might be him. No. Is that him? No. Oh, I don't want to know about ring names, you idiot. No, that's not him. Can't find any information about. I can't find a local Wikipedia page for him or anything.
Well, clearly he's not that interesting.
Yeah, apparently not. I just want to know how tall the guy is. No, nothing. No information whatsoever.
Oh.
Because there's actually somebody else called Reginald, who's actually called Reginald, who was a former Cirque du Soleil person. Is that him?
Right.
It can't be him.
Can't be him because he can do all the flippy stuff.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. No, it is him, but he definitely doesn't have a Wikipedia page. Yeah, he's the Cirque du Soleil guy.
Oh.
He's got a tattoo of some, like, the rings that they use in Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, yes.
On the inside of his arm.
Oh.
Sounds like he's actually quite an interesting guy. He had absolutely no background in wrestling when he turned up.
Right.
So there you go. He is just learning to wrestle. Yeah, and he signed in that group alongside Mercedes Martinez, Jake Atlas, etc. So that was mid last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that he's already up on the main roster, and he isn't learning and then going through NXT.
Yeah.
But anyway, massive digression.
Yes, it was a rather big one.
We still don't know how tall he is, and we may never know. But we like Reggie.
Love Reggie.
We'll see him again later on the Raw portion of this show.
Yeah.
Now, next, interrupting a tense moment between the Street Profits and SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Dirty Dogs, Bayley was interviewed, stating that it was her that pulled SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair up and put her on the path towards the title. Bayley wanted her thank you, but instead she got grassed up for running her mouth by Belair's man, Montez Ford. Later in the night, Belair arrived and Bayley backtracked on her smack talk, instead saying it's going to be an honour to face her at WrestleMania Backlash, which kind of confirms they booked that match. Cool. Bayley then burst into hysterics and walked off, leaving Belair confused and dumbfounded in the interview area.
Yeah.
So this will be our first announced difference between WrestleMania and WrestleMania Backlash in terms of, rather than copy-pasting the match, we've got Bayley against Belair instead of Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Probably just be a nice little easy first defense for Belair. I don't see
I think so.
Bayley beating her that quickly, but it's good to see Bayley back on kind of the path to a match, at least.
Actually competing rather than hosting a show.
Yeah. Trying to be the APA and make people walk through her door.
Yes.
I'm surprised they haven't done something about that, considering they've had JBL around every now and again, and they have Ron Simmons around every now and again. Why they didn't, just have them in APA shirts come up and take the door away or something.
Yeah, take the door away, or something kicks down the door.
Yeah, for old time's sake, let's have a poker game. Let's set up a poker game backstage. And it's like, man, there's something missing. What else? We had the table. We've got the filing cabinet full of beer. We've got cards. We've got us. What's missing? What do we need? And JBL's like, I've got it. Come with me. And they're just in the middle of a ding dong hello segment. They just walk down to the ring, pick up the door, and walk off with it as Bayley just stands there outraged. Like, hey, that's my door. Why are you taking my door?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Book it.
That's a good chunk of SmackDown booked. Book it, Dano.
Oh, well, okay. Get on the phone to Vinny.
But
right.
Not much else to say about all this, really. The tag team kind of element was pointless. I don't want to see the Street Profits and the Dirty Dogs face again.
No.
It was just a vehicle to having Montez Ford be hanging around to hear Bayley talk smack about his I want to say
Met his
wife.
wife.
I can't
Yeah,
think
they're
whether it's
married.
girlfriend or wife. They are married, are they?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
When I was writing the notes, I wrote wife, and I was like, not sure.
Yeah, they are married. I'm pretty sure they're married.
Okay, cool. Next time, I'll put wife.
Lovely. Okay. So, after months of speculation about his future in WWE, Aleister Black finally made his return to SmackDown, delivering a message from his dark candle room. His incense
Hooray!
room.
His incense room, yeah. His dry ice and candle room.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's back. I didn't
I'm
think we
glad
were
he's
going to
back.
see him again, to be honest. So I'm glad that
Especially
there's
after the
something
Selena
happening.
Vega thing.
Yes, yeah. So I guess he's been forgiven for now. Whether he actually evolves from these backstage vignettes to actually having matches remains to be seen, because we've been here before. He's inviting people to come knock on his door, and nobody has, so he just didn't turn up to TV. But really good to see him back. I wasn't too keen on the promo. He just said a lot of words without any kind of direction or specificity, really. So
I didn't really follow it, shall we say?
No, I didn't either. No, and I assume that as the story of his book progresses, there is going to be some kind of person in the WWE that he can attribute to the bad guy or the good guy in the story, and use that as the beginning of a feud. But right now, he just said some words and look good in glasses, basically. Yeah, watch this space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of watching this space and waiting and treading water and just get on with it, in SmackDown's next contest, Dominic and Rey Mysterio took on the Alpha Academy in a tag team match. Player. Despite a very physical showing from Otis, the Mysterios were able to isolate Chad Gable, and Rey defeated him after the 619. And I say get on with it, as in put the tag team titles on Dominic and Rey Mysterio and be done with it.
Yeah. You've been saying for ages. Do it.
I'm bored of everything on the SmackDown tag division.
There's not a lot going on, is there?
No, and it seems to be the same matches over and over again. We get a Mysterio against a Alpha Academy, and we get the Street Profits and the Dirty Dogs, and nothing's happening. Just come on, got a pay-per-view in 3 weeks. That's plenty of time. Let's put the Mysterios against the champs. Let's have the Mysterios win, and cool, get on with it. And then bring up some more teams from NXT, or sign some teams from outside the company or something. There's not enough tag teams on SmackDown.
No, there isn't at all. So
we've got through the meh section that we talked about. The beginning and the end are great. The meh has been glossed over.
The beginning, the meh, and the end.
So let's get to our ending.
So in the final segment of SmackDown, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan return to the ring to get their answer as to whether Roman Reigns would give Cesaro a shot at the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns came to the ring and said his answer was no, that it would also be no, and that he issues the challenges, not accept them. With that in mind, Reigns challenged Daniel Bryan to a championship match. Cesaro encouraged his friend to take the match, and he did, with the suggestion that if Bryan didn't beat Reigns next week, he would have to leave SmackDown. Bryan accepted, and the title match is on for next week.
So it's the second championship match booked for this week's SmackDown. Very cool. Let's let's predict it for the lols again. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, the thing is, I've got something about this in my dirt sheet.
Have you now? Have you now?
After the commercial.
Okay.
So I think we should wait.
Okay, that's fine. We'll predict after the dirt sheet then.
Yes.
I liked the kind of camaraderie between Bryan and Cesaro here, because they could have gone two ways with it.
Yeah.
They could have gone down the route of Reigns is offering Daniel Bryan the shot to try and put a rift in between he and Cesaro.
Yeah.
Cesaro could have turned around and been like, when Daniel Bryan just immediately said, "Yeah, I accept." Cesaro could have just been like, "You what, mate? It's my shot." But
the hell?
But that's not the direction they went in. They went in no, you've got to take this. If he's not giving me a shot, then he's giving you a shot. Go for it.
Shot.
I'll beat you if needs be. It's fine. It's all good. So it was a nice end.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm looking forward to seeing it again, and again we'll predict after the break. But there's only one way I kind of see it going. Might change my mind with what you're saying in your dirt sheet segment, because I haven't heard any rumours. So yes. And so on that little teaser, then it's a nice little tease to take us into our commercial break. When we come back, it's Dan's dirt sheet, and then Monday Night Raw. So stay with us.
Yeah.
We're back in 2 minutes. This is the main roster. Welcome back to the main roster. We're kicking off the second half of the show with everybody's favourite segment. It's Dan's Dirt Sheet.
Dirty.
Oh, it never gets old.
Love that noise.
Anyway, so as I said before the commercial break, kind of got something to do with group that are dealing with the Universal Championship at the moment. Specifically, Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
But the rumour is that his contract is ending very, very soon.
Right.
Very, very soon. And as of yet, he has not signed or agreed to a new one. So, Roman Reigns saying this whole thing of "I don't want to see you around here again" might.
Okay. I mean, that doesn't change my opinion really, because I did think that, they are at the very least moving Bryan away from SmackDown. Because the suggestion, I don't want to see you around here again. Like, okay, so they can just oik him off to Raw, and Raw needs more kind of main event talent. They need to mix it up a bit, because once they've got through this rematch and whatever's happening at Backlash for the WWE title, then there isn't really anywhere else to go that hasn't been tread before. So Bobby Lashley needs some new opponents, ones that can take a beating, and Daniel Bryan can take a beating. So maybe heading off to Raw would have worked.
Yeah.
But he has been talking about maybe actually retiring.
So it might happen. So prediction would be Roman Reigns anyway.
Yeah. No, I predict Roman Reigns either way, whether he's going to re-sign or not. But cool.
There you go.
Is that your solo Dan's dirt sheet for the night?
That's my solo dirty sheet.
Righto. Then let's yeet the clipboard away. And we'll crack on with Monday Night Raw, shall we?
Yes.
So, Monday Night Raw opened with what was supposed to be a rematch from last week, with Mace and T-Bar facing Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. But after a heated discussion at the gorilla position, Strowman decided he would face the pair alone in a 2-on-1 handicap match. This week's handicap match was eerily reminiscent of last week's, with Mace and T-Bar getting themselves disqualified for double teaming. Returning the favour from last week, McIntyre made the save, and the match resumed as the originally scheduled tag team match. As Strowman went for his patented freight train attack outside the ring, T-Bar ducked away from McIntyre's clothesline, and the Scottish Warrior hit Strowman by accident. T-Bar then got back into the ring, but McIntyre didn't meet the referee's 10 count, and the pair were counted out. After the match, Strowman gave McIntyre a running power slam and ranted his way out of the arena. McIntyre made a beeline for the office of Adam Pearce and demanded a match with Strowman, which Pearce happily booked for the main event.
Yeah.
Not a bad start.
Oh, it was alright.
Not as good as SmackDown's start, and we have had worse for sure.
Yeah.
But it did seem a bit copy-pasta from last week. Let's just move the names around a little bit. And I get why they did that.
Yeah.
But they probably could have accomplished the same thing with a more unique, slightly more interesting story, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really like the new look of Mason T-Bar.
Yeah, I do as well.
Like, I'm looking at them now, and I'm just thinking, you could be a Legion of Doom, APA, Chronic type tag team. And I'm like, there is a lot of potential in this team for two guys that, one guy that was a singles guy in NXT and wasn't really kind of hitting home with the crowd.
No.
Like the whole feast your eyes thing, it wasn't really resonating.
Really working.
And it was, pardon me, it was really when he was teaming with Keith Lee in NXT that people started to come round to him. And so maybe the guy's just better off in a team.
Yeah, he seems to be just one of those people that's better off in a tag team. And I mean, him teaming with, what's his name? Dio
Madden, yeah.
Madden? Yeah, it just seems to work, doesn't it? So
it does.
Two big guys who can just destroy things. So
yeah, that's what I can say. They're both the same size. They're both muscular. They've both been built well. Yeah. So no, it's a good fit as a team, and I hope they actually do something with it.
They've lost the masks.
They've lost the mask. They've gained the paint. All they need now, they've got a fairly decent win under their belt. All they need now is to get some decent graphics to go with their entrance music that they've carried over from Retribution. Because I think that music suits those two more than it does, anybody else.
Yeah.
So they can keep
it
that.
suits them too, and it's actually good music as well.
It is, yeah. It's an actual song with an actual tune rather than just kind of incidental music.
Generic music.
Yeah. So no, I think that was the highlight of that whole opening for me. Like main event situation aside, was going, oh okay, they might actually do something with this team, and
bring it on.
They move on from this now and go into just taking on some other tag teams and working their way through to a championship shot eventually.
Imagine those two against Omos.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, and I hadn't even considered that. We still haven't seen AJ and Omos since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What's that about?
No, it's a bit weird.
There is something going on there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Weird.
So he caught COVID.
Maybe, but I suppose 2 weeks, maybe. I guess if they're not there next week, then we've really got to panic.
Something's happened.
That means one of them is, in trouble or injured or something.
Yeah.
And it would probably be Omos. Yeah. It would probably be Omos, because if AJ Styles was injured, then AJ Styles would just come out on crutches or something, and Omos would defend the belts on his own. That wouldn't be a problem. So it would probably be Omos is injured if there is a problem of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of teams, and teams that maybe Mason T-Bar can eventually move on to beating.
Yeah. In a special Miz TV, Miz and Morrison welcomed Elias and Jackson Riker. After taking credit for selling out Bad Bunny's music tour, Miz announced that they will be holding their very own concert right here in the ring. Hey, hey, hop, hop. Unplugged. For too long, the performance was interrupted by Damian Priest and the New Day, who brought a guitar case to the ring, opened it to reveal rotten tomatoes that didn't really look rotten.
No.
Which they pelted at the four men for what they said it was a rotten performance. After a commercial, a six-man tag began with John Morrison once again the odd man out. After a long contest and craziness taking place outside the ring, Xavier Woods was able to roll up Jackson Riker into a cradle and pick up the win for his team.
Yeah, all I could think with that was, man, they've got some mutant tomatoes in the United States. Those things are huge. And B, this was an idea that was conceived on the day because where can you go to buy rotten tomatoes? You can't just send a guy.
Just go dumpster diving.
Well, yeah, but even then they're going to already be squashed and hard to pick up. So, you can't just send a guy out to get rotten tomatoes. If you want rotten tomatoes, you need to buy tomatoes a couple of weeks in advance and just let them expire
and just sit them there.
So, no, this was a plan that was conceived on the day, maybe the day before.
Yeah. Why didn't they just say they just got some tomatoes?
Yeah, I mean, but that was the kind of old Shakespearean kind of trope, wasn't it? Is you would take a rotten tomato with you, and if the show was bad, you'd pelt it at whoever was acting badly or whatever. So it's a theatrical tradition, the rotten tomato.
Yeah.
But I mean, they probably could have accomplished the same with apple peel or just off cuttings of any kind and just grabbed handfuls of it and pelted it at them.
Lobbed it.
They probably didn't want to tidy that up though.
And they wanted to tidy up tomatoes.
No, I guess that's the same kind of point. I did love their slow motion shots after the commercial of them hitting people square in the face and them just exploding. that was a fun shot. I'm
It was
like,
beautiful.
I've questioned for years what the point of the slow motion camera was in WWE, and now we know it's for when tomatoes are pelted at someone's face, and we can watch them explode in like 2 frames a second.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Absolutely.
The question of what could possibly make Elias interesting, the answer was hey hey hop hop. I thought that was an excellent performance until they were rudely interrupted. I enjoyed the unplugged session.
What did Riker call himself? Called himself some of the rap names, didn't he?
Yeah, I did like it, what he called himself. I've forgotten what it is now.
DJ JR or something?
It's like DJ Reiki or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It was like when he did it, I was like, oh my god.
DJ Reiki Reich.
He did something like that, and I was just like, oh god.
Yeah.
That's your character down the drain.
Well, I mean, we already know what his actual character is. So.
Yeah, we know that.
DJ Right Wing.
Yeah.
But no, it was a fun kind of deal.
It was a fun segment on it.
John Morrison continues to be the kind of odd man out in that situation.
Yeah.
We will eventually get to a split between Miz and Morrison, I think.
Or Johnny Drip Drip.
I did like that he'd spray painted the word drip, into his hair.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think John Morrison is going to come out of this a really like hot baby face, and that's going to be fun for a while.
Yeah.
See what they can do with John Morrison afterwards. Maybe he actually finally moves towards that title picture. Nicholas, welcome. I'm still kind of peeved how Sonya overruled Adam Pearce. Yes, we're about to get to that, actually. That's our next segment. So hold that thought for just a moment, and I'll take it away now. I think we've finished with the New Day and the Miz and Morrison, etc.
Yep.
So, despite being suspended for her actions last week, Charlotte Flair was let into the building and welcomed to the ring by WWE official Sonya Deville. Charlotte claimed to have seen the error of her ways and wanted to make a sincere apology to WWE management and to referee Eddie Oringo. The referee accepted her apology. Deville stated that she had paid her $100,000 fine, so she would be reinstated immediately and would compete later in the night against Mandy Rose. Despite some spats with the referee that she beat up last week, Charlotte defeated Rose with the natural selection.
Oh, I've just had enough of Charlotte still.
I'm slightly more entertained by Charlotte now than I was when it was just, oh, look, Charlotte's back. She's going for the title. Oh, she's won the title. Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah.
But I am more interested in this Sonya Deville constantly undermining Adam Pearce thing. I'm like, where is this going?
Yeah.
Why isn't she just fired? Because it's not an isolated incident.
No, I think you said it last week or when that she might be going to become a general manager of one of this, either SmackDown or Raw. So
yeah, I can't see any other direction that this goes or any other reason for this to happen, because you can't constantly undermine someone who's supposed to be your boss and then come out on the good end of it, really. Yeah. So either eventually, Stephanie or Triple H or Vince turns up and said, hey, look, she's got some great ideas. I'd like to see her do more. You're in charge of Raw. Have that. That was a more Vince kind of thing than any of the others. But yeah, I think that's the only direction this can go. Otherwise, it's like, oh, sorry, you're fired. Wonder if Charlotte paid Sonya the fines. Hey, it just said it was paid to WWE.
Yeah.
Like, here you go, Sonya. Here's 100K.
Yeah.
It's a good. That's a good point. It's a very good point, Nicholas. I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
There you
a
go.
little cuddy cup for Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just like Sonya Deville to return to the ring. Really, that would be my ideal
I would as well.
situation. But it's better than Adam Pearce just eventually just hanging around in his office, people coming in and saying, "Hey, I'd like this match," and Adam Pearce either going, "Yes, okay," or "No, you can't have it." That was getting a bit dull. So
yeah,
he's not a general manager, commissioner type character with personality.
No, he's not.
he definitely doesn't have the pizzazz of a Commissioner Mick Foley or a Commissioner William Regal.
No, absolutely not.
Or the the tag team booking skills of a Teddy Long.
Yeah, player.
I already dropped a player reference earlier in the show. Did you catch it?
I heard that.
Yeah. Charlotte, great, cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeet. Moving on. The Open Challenge was back again this week. Once again, not for the United States Championship, as Sheamus asked the locker room who wanted to be taken out on a stretcher this week. The answer was the same as last week, with Humberto Carrillo answering the call. Sheamus jumped him once again, but this time Carrillo was able to fight back and embarrass the US champ by launching him over the announce table and walking away.
Good old Dale Gas. We love a bit of Dale Gas.
Dale Gas.
Dale Gas. That's his alternative name. On the Indies, he played a character that was called Dale, and he was there to check your gas. Dale Gas. You know how I don't know if it was a thing in England. I didn't grow up in England, but in Wales it was. You'd call the person by their first name and then their job. So like the soft drinks delivery guy was Thomas the Pop, and the guy that worked at the greengrocer was like Darren the Veg and stuff like that. That's how you named people in Wales. It was first name, the job.
We didn't really have that over here. We kind of have it like on your phones. It's kind of like if you know an electrician, it'll be like my dad's an electrician. It'll be Mick Electrician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Something I learned today. Our dads have the same name.
There you go.
Knowledge. And the same
knowledge. And
the same nickname for their name.
Mick.
Yeah. I don't know many people who go with Mick rather than, Mike or Michael. In fact, the only people I've ever known are my dad and my uncle. That everyone else has been, Mike. So there you go. There's another one.
Yeah, there's 3 for you.
So apparently, as much as we knock Dale Gas, apparently he's becoming a thing.
He is becoming a thing. This
is actually going to be a rival.
He looks like he's kind of grown up a bit.
Naya, the ogre. You're kind of getting the idea, yeah. That's more a description than her job, but yeah. Naya, the botch. That's what she would be.
Naya, the hurter.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like the sentiment. What was I saying? Yeah, Humberto Carrillo is clearly going to eventually get this US title shot. Maybe at WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah. Why not?
Because, the person, pardon me, that Sheamus beat for the title has moved on to do other things that we'll get to shortly. So, something new. I like it.
Yeah. As I said, he looks like he's grown up a bit as well. Humberto.
He does, yeah. Like, he's still got the kind of bum fluff. He's not really growing any kind of actual beard, but...
no.
But he's definitely bigger now. He's not a cruiserweight anymore. He's put on...
Been hitting the gym.
Enough muscle to get out of that. So, yeah. Cool.
Watch this space.
Watch this space, indeed. His falling out of favour No, Nia the Botch.
Botch.
Not the other word.
Not that one.
This is a family-friendly show, Nicholas, so would not say that on this show. Nia the Botch, as in she botches a lot. She hurts people. Like can't get her moves right. She botches.
Nia the Horrible.
B-O-T. Good. I'm glad you're keeping me on my toes, though.
Yes.
So moving on. Speaking of toes, because Riddle doesn't cover his.
No, he doesn't, does he?
It's a good segue. I'm proud of that one. After Randy Orton was surprised by a shock defeat by Riddle last week, Orton claimed to have a newfound respect for the original Bro, and so that is why he had arranged a tag team match for them both to try out Riddle's team idea of RK Bro against tag team Job Squad, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. The Odd Couple team got on fairly well and worked together to defeat Shelton Benjamin after a draping DDT from Orton and a floating Bro from Riddle.
They worked quite well.
I'm just going to come out and say it. This was the best segment on Raw. This whole RK Bro thing.
I'm going to agree with you.
It was the best thing on Raw last night. It was funny as hell. And it was made better by Corey Graves kind of thinking what everyone else is thinking. Everybody with half a brain is like, yeah, okay, well, we know how tag teams end with Randy Orton. Like, when is this RKO coming? He's gonna, maybe he'll abandon Riddle, maybe he'll RKO him out of nowhere. But no, they're gonna carry this on a few weeks at least. All the while with Corey Graves going, oh, watch out! Oh, it's gonna. Now it's gonna happen. No, and just that's gonna be funny.
I'm kind of hoping this turns out how Rated RKO turned out. And they kind of were taking the mick out of D-Generation X and all that, and it was just kind of a laugh. I'm kind of hoping it might go that way a little bit because it would just be brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, they've got it at the moment where Randy Orton is obviously kind of tolerating Riddle's nonsense and, just stop talking. Before I punch you in the face, just stop.
Stop. Yeah.
And I hope eventually, rather than Randy betraying him, they flip it around and they just have, eventually, Riddle is fed up of being told to not be himself and to stop talking, and he just loses it with Randy Orton and just beats the hell out of him and leaves him laying.
Yeah.
But we've got a long way to go to get to that kind of thing. We're all the while expecting the Randy Orton turn.
Yeah.
But eventually it happens the other way. And Riddle is the one that has enough of Randy Orton kind of holding him down, as it were.
Yeah.
That's how I'd book it.
Yep.
Yeah. As a slight digression, in some sad news, my dreams of joining the local wrestling company and booking it have gone up in smoke because SEPW have decided to shut down rather than reopen after the pandemic.
Well, that's your dream scuppered.
Yeah, my only option now is to start my own company.
You're seriously considering it now.
I know, a little bit. Yeah, no. Yeah. With all the time I have, Dan, I've got so much spare time.
With all your spare time, yeah, of course.
I don't have, boxes of stuff everywhere for my business and things that haven't been sorted or no, I'm swimming in time, so I've totally got time to take on a whole new project like that. Yeah. So maybe not.
Anyway,
swinging backs to Nia the Botch.
Yes. Nia the Horrible. In 6-person tag team action, Naomi, Lana, and Asuka took on the women's tag team champions Nia the Botch and Shayna Baszler, and Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. As the match got underway, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose once again looked to embarrass the champs. First, throwing a bucket of water over Baszler, and Jax slipping and falling on the water afterwards. Despite this, the match continued, and eventually Nia Jax was able to pin Lana after a riptide from Ripley and a leg drop from Nia Jax for good measure.
So Nia Jax can't even fall over on water properly.
No, she can't.
Who goes up to some water and slips on the water forwards? No one does that. That doesn't happen.
Does that not happen to you?
She needed to fall on her butt again. That's the comedy, Nia. The comedy is you falling on your butt. You slip and you land on your butt. You go, whoop, boom.
But Nia Jax doesn't understand anything.
Yeah. Oh, water! I tripped over the water. What?
Yeah.
No. You slip. You thud the ground. You get up. You're like, oh no, my ass is all wet.
That's why I'm drinking cider to try and eradicate it from my memory.
She can't do anything. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one bright spot.
Mm.
Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke have dropped that god-awful attire from WrestleMania.
Gone back to their sort of normal style.
Their actual wrestling-looking gear rather than a couple of belts that look like they're going to fall off and tights that you can see far too much of.
You see something that looks like they are from Amsterdam.
Yes, indeed. And I don't really have much else to say about that other than the disappointment that once again we're not getting any closer to Naomi and Lana in the title picture.
Yeah.
They're never going to get
Move
there.
on. No.
Nia, that's how you roll. Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we've burned through Raw a lot quicker than we did SmackDown, which is probably telling that SmackDown is still the better show at the moment. Yeah. I've even started watching NXT again, and then that's been pretty good as well. Yeah, and I watched AEW last week.
Oh my god!
Yeah, all in the background while I did other things, but
yeah,
I had half an eye on them and knew what was happening. So
yeah.
Anyway, in Raw's main event, as set up earlier, Drew McIntyre took on Braun Strowman. During the course of the show, the stipulation was added that if Strowman beat Braveheart Boy, which was an inspired nickname as far as I'm concerned, he'd be added to the match at Backlash as a triple threat. This brought the interested party of the almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley to ringside as an observer. MVP and Lashley did their best to cause a distraction and prevent Strowman from joining him at Backlash, but it was actually the distraction of T-Bar and Mace that would pay dividends, allowing the monster among men to hit a running power slam and pick up the victory over the Scottish Warrior.
Yes. Getting a triple threat now.
And I'm actually okay with it. I'm actually okay with the triple threat for once.
Yeah, I'm alright with it. I'm kind of happy with it because, I mean, these three guys are big guys.
Mm-hmm.
Big guys. So this is going to be a hard-hitting match thing.
Yes. And I don't know how to explain it. Some kind of shenanigans is going to go on here.
Yeah.
And I can't quite kind of picture what direction this is going in yet. And whether they're going to take the belt off Lashley. And if they take the belt off Lashley by him not being pinned in the same way that he lost the US title.
Yeah.
I think that's where my mind is going right now. But we've still got 3 weeks to go. Things could change.
It could definitely change.
Rumours may kick in again about a certain Minnesotan returning to to face the almighty WWE champion. But yeah, it's interesting. It's another match that thankfully is not just a copy-paste of WrestleMania. I'm keen to have some differences going on there.
Yeah.
And
One difference.
Yeah. But Braun Strowman deserves to be in that title picture. He hasn't been there for a while. He pretty much saved last year's WrestleMania for
absolutely,
for WWE, in that Reigns decided no thanks and Strowman stepped in, and he didn't get a very long reign with the belt. So
I think he should have another reign with a big championship, either world or universal.
Yes.
Just because he does deserve it. I mean, as you said, he saved WWE's butts last year. So he should have a shot with it. He should have a run with it, and he should just do what he does of have a championship and just plow through everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Be the monster among men, charge through everyone.
And on that note, the charging through everyone, I am really glad that they've given up on this stupid train noise when Strowman is doing his run around the ring thing.
Oh yeah,
they didn't do that this week. I'm like, oh, thank God for that. It's like you're not gonna continue that when there's a crowd, because the crowd will just laugh at it and boo it, and you'll look ridiculous. So yeah, I'm glad they've dropped that.
Just leave the train noise for his entrance.
Yeah, it's fine for the entrance. Because I like the like the CGI approaching the thing and just driving straight into the camera, and then you get the old A Train kind of smoke.
Yeah,
man, remember A Train? That didn't work.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yes. But yeah, that was Raw's main event. We've got a triple threat match out of it, and I'm all right with it.
I'm all right with it too.
Little last quick discussion from the chat. Alexa's doll freaks me out, says Nicholas8337. Yeah, I didn't put a segment in for Alexa's Playground because
not a lot's really happened.
No, we haven't got any extra kind of information or content from last week. It's like, and I'm gonna, maybe possibly return to the ring soon, and like, be scared and stuff. No,
Oh, all right.
Great, Alexa. Like, put up or shut up before I get bored. And if I'm gonna get bored of this, you know that you're a casual person that isn't really that keen on the whole Dark Alexa Bliss fiend type stuff is already bored. So you've got to get on with it. Just
get on with it. Come on, Alexa. I want to see more of you, Alexa. Come on.
I wonder if WWE is going to bring back mixed match challenge. I don't think they will. I think they've got plenty of content at the moment. They've really no need to. They might bring it out eventually. Yeah,
when things settle down after COVID and all that.
And I don't think this year or maybe even next year. They don't. They just don't need it. They've got so much content already.
Yeah.
Between all of their shows, they're going to put focus back into NXT and NXT UK as soon as they can have full-size crowds again. I don't think they need any extra shows, but it's a good question. I'd forgotten Mixed Match Challenge was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, there we are. That brings our show to a close. I'm going to quickly hop on over to the schedule for the Primetime Streamer Network and discuss what's coming up tomorrow. Quite a busy day tomorrow. At midday, 12 p.m. British Standard Time, 7 a.m. Eastern if you're in the States, it's Wake Up Music Stream with Club Mad 2020, who popped in here for a short while earlier. In his final stream as a member of the Primetime Streamer Network, VR Sorrow is playing Kamen Rider Super Climax Heroes at 5:30 British time. It's the Rocket League play along with Resage 1 at 7:30 p.m. here in the UK, 2:30 if you're in the States on the East Coast. 11 p.m. it's Fortnite with Little Cute Girl 86, and at 1 a.m. late night for us, but only 8 p.m. Eastern. It's drum time with Rooster Beast.
Mm.
Lots going on tomorrow, Wednesday the 28th of April.
Play.
And there we go. That is our show. We'll be back next week with more from SmackDown and Raw. Stick around for a raid. We're going to go and see Takoyaki Gamma, who you may know actually. He's part of the Kamen Rider fandom. You may recognise him once we get over there.
I'll probably have a look.
He's in some of the groups that you're in. And things. So we'll go see him. He is playing Pokemon Red and Blue.
Ooh.
So there we go. Thank you very much for tuning in to the main roster, wherever you've tuned in, be it here live on Twitch, later on YouTube, or in podcast form in your ears on various platforms. We appreciate all of you. I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.